evening and welcome all of you for the yet most awaited episode. Let us hear my school. As usual, it's my pleasure to introduce our Swamiji, Brahmachari, Maheshwara Chaitanya. As a person, he is a graduate in commerce and as well as a postgraduate in masters in computer application. Now, you may wonder from a commerce graduation to masters in computer application, but that never stops there. He continued to teach computer science for little over 15 years. And computer science happens to be his pet subject even today, though he graduated himself in commerce. His passion and liking towards programming put him as the regional director for the most sought after competition on programming, that is ICPC, International Collegiate Programming Contest. And in fact, it is not out of place for me to announce that he was instrumental or continues to be instrumental in bringing quite a few students from Amrita as well as from outside into this contest. In the year 2018, Brahmachari Maheshwara Chaitanya was awarded a leadership award by ICPC for his contribution almost or little over 1 decade. So 10 years of contribution had led him to receive this coveted recognition, the leadership award from ICPC. Congratulations to you, Swamiji, for this great achievement, and our wishes and prayers that as years to come, you will keep adding more feathers into your cap. So let me now request Swamiji to light the lamp of knowledge and seek the blessings of our Chancellor, Mata Amritanandamai Devi ji. Showering the blessings on all of us, and I'm sure that these blessings will carry a long way for the well-being and the benefit of the entire globe. Thank you, Swamiji, once again. It is not out of place for me to again introduce our guest speaker today. Before I introduce the guest speaker, I would certainly love to mention few things about ma'am. Like I met her during one of my interactions with the principals of Mysore Sahodaya, where under the instructions from the then regional officer of CBSE Bangalore, we from Amrita Vishwavidyapeetham invited her to deliver a talk on hubs of learning for close to about 50-60 odd principals of CBSE in Mysore. Ma'am, we still remember the way you conducted the class.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, in fact, it is still in our memory. It was just not a class, it was actually learning while you enjoy the process of learning. It is not just looking at and watching the videos and the PowerPoints. We all really enjoyed In fact, more than the principals, me and Swamiji enjoyed the way you taught or the way you conducted the class. So congratulations on that. And on that front, we still thought that this talk of yours in the next 45 to 50 minutes would benefit the entire educational fraternity. So we have here with Dr. Sarada Chandrasekaran, who is at the moment the academic director and head of institutions of Whitefield Global School, Bangalore. I can read quite a few of her achievements, but then the best way to introduce herself would be to ask her to talk, ask ma'am to talk as to how she started the journey becoming a teacher. And in fact, I was really happy to read that you worked in Air Force school in Coimbatore. That I just happened to go through your profile, and so you also know what Coimbatore is all about. So that is one of those. You work for DPS and quite a few schools. Somewhere in Bombay also you had worked. So it's not just only in Bangalore. Ma'am has been going around the country, and her experience and exposure is just not limited to one particular city or town where she has been able to move around and then been principal, teacher. And I believe you have almost close to 40 years, 4 decades of teaching experience, and out of which 3 decades have been a principal of schools. Am I right, ma'am? Is that what I read was true?
Yeah.
So 3 decades of holding the leadership responsibility at various schools. I'm sure. I think the talk what you're going to listen, the big talk, the talk what you're going to talk to us is going to benefit all of us. And I'm sure that every teacher, every student who are listening to you now are keen to hear something from you. My first question would be, ma'am, how did this happen in your mind, or when did it happen in your mind as to that you must be a teacher? Was it in the school? Was it in your higher classes, or was it when you did your UG, PG? And you could just tell us what did you do for your graduation and post-graduation, and what really triggered and made you to take this noble profession of teaching and been teaching for the last almost close to 4 decades. Over to you, ma'am. Let's hear from you as to what made you a teacher. Over to you, ma'am. Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming, ma'am. Thank you for coming to this live show. And we are indebted from Amrita Vishwavidyapitham to specially salute your presence here for the next 45 to 50 minutes. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you very much, Mr. Krish, and thank you, Swamiji. My journey as a teacher started long ago when I was 16 years old. My father suddenly one day he saw me explaining how to do a balance sheet to a friend of mine. I was in maths, economics, commerce field those days. Then he heard and he said that you will become a very good teacher. You have an excellent teaching ability. Then, of course, I started my journey on this holidays to work to teach mathematics to matriculation children. And then that was the beginning, and I never looked back. I really enjoyed this profession. I strongly believe that I'm born to be a teacher and nothing else. That is what I think. The teaching runs into all the veins in my DNA, everything that I'm. If not teacher, I cannot become anything else, is my strong belief. And of course, the journey, many people have contributed for my growth, from my father to my husband, and all my students, all my teachers, all my managements, every single individual, people like you, everyone have contributed for my growth and my learning. And I always say that Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. You are all my gurus, and I learned from each and every one of you. And only thing that doesn't stop is learning. And I think we will start learning from mother's womb till we go to tomb, and that will be the learning continuous process. This is my journey, and welcome to this particular talk called Diversity as a Challenge. All I want to tell you is a story here first. It says one man went to Lord Shiva, and he told Lord Shiva, I'm fed up of this kind of people all around me. No two persons think alike, the way they are pulling me from all sides. Please help me. So Lord Shiva gave a good laugh and he said, "What are you talking about? Your troubles. Look at me. I have one snake in my neck, and one of my sons go on a rat, which is a snake's enemy. I'm supposed to keep fire in my neck, my throat, and the water, my wife on my head keeps throwing water on me. Okay, I'm sitting in a cold area, but she never thinks about it. My other wife is a Shakti personified. She gets upset with the cold water. Okay, and I'm managing both of them very well. Okay, and I sit on a bull and my wife goes on lions and tigers, which are strong enemies again. My one son is called a snake, and but he goes on a peacock, which are again strong enemies. No two people, no two animals, no two things which are around me are in friendly condition in other way, but I maintain all of them in complete peace, tranquility. That is what is management is all about. Darling, you become like me, then you will understand how to manage diversity, he said, I believe. And in India, all of us are born to manage diversity. An amazing country. Every 100 kilometers, we have different language, different food, different culture, different people, different everything. And it's one of the most beautiful part of our country. But what happened is that managing this change is what is a problem to us now. What is the problem we are having now is how to manage this particular change. Give me 1 minute. Okay. So how to manage change when we look at my PPT isn't moving, so I'm leaving it there. So how to manage change when we look into it, the change which has been there all around us, the diversity which is there all around us is a very, very good diversity as far as management is concerned, because this is part of us. And we all learned to manage it to a large extent. To what? When we go into our classrooms, we have children who are very good performers. We have children who are not very good performers. We have children who are reluctant learners. We also have children who are average performers. We stepped into the class, and that is the diversity we have. And when we have this diversity, these children are there, then we plan our class beautifully in a physical class, and we go with that differential learning mode. Okay, who wants a laddu, we give them laddu, and whoever wants a pepper, we give them a pepper. Cane, carrot, of course no cane, only one, whatever we need to do. We use it at the right time so that the children learn it. The children learn it, and by end of that 40 minutes, we managed the class beautifully. Everybody learnt, everybody got what they got, and we came out and we patted ourselves, we clapped for ourselves, and we said, wow, what a fantastic job you have done. And we were very good, happy teachers as far as the physical classes were concerned. Our bosses were happy, our children were happy. Parents, one or two complained, but otherwise we were happy with ourselves. And I don't know what happened. All of a sudden, God thought that he will teach us a lesson. So what did he do? He has sent us one big pandemic. The mall, it came and fell. Here, I want to tell you all another story. Long, long ago, it seems once one king was given 2 falcons. And when he gave 2 falcons, he told the king that if you train these 2 falcons, they fly very high, very beautifully. Please train them. So the king called the bird trainer, and he gave these 2 falcons to the bird trainer. After 15 days, the trainer came and told, sir, one falcon is flying. The other falcon doesn't move at all, sir. I don't know what to do with the falcon. Then he went and he saw the falcon is happily perched on the branch, doesn't move. Then he called many people, none could make the falcon move. So he was very worried. He called the whole kingdom, whoever can make the falcon fly is going to get a good reward. Then one farmer came, he said, I can make the falcon fly. And next day he called the king, he said, see, your falcon is flying. When he went there, the falcon was flying. Then this man asked, the king asked the farmer, what did you do? How could you make it fly? The farmer smiled and said, sir, it was very comfortably perched on a branch. I have cut that branch. Now it has to fly. There is no other go for it. Okay. Now the comfortable branch we are all seated on, has been cut by this COVID. We have to fly. There's no other go for us. Yeah, there is no other way of going at all for us, because we are thrown into tsunami. So if we are thrown into tsunami, if we sink, we become the history. If we float, we will write the history. So now choice is with us, whether we will become the history or we will become the history writers. Okay, so now we decided we will become the history writers. So the moment we decided we have to become history writers, then we have to fly high like the falcon. There is no choice left. Now we want to fly high like falcon, but we have our own challenges. There is no branch to sit upon. There is no branch to take a comfort zone. There is no branch to rest. And we have a lot of challenges before us. We just jumped into this ocean. We were just told that, okay, take to online teaching. So quickly everybody jumped. What are all there in online teaching? Okay, those who want to go to MS Teams, quickly go. Those who want Zoom, go. Those who want to use WebEx, go. And do you know how to use it? Once or twice, the way I failed, now we will fail. Okay, and then it's okay to fail. No problem, we will pass somehow way. Okay, because anytime technology can put you into trouble, technology can challenge you, technology can make you look like a fool, and technology can make you look like a fantastic, the genius. So it is all there. And if it is within our homes, it doesn't matter. But it is in the classroom. We have 30, 40, 50, 60 children there who are far intelligent than us as far as technology is concerned. Okay, and telling us, ma'am, not like that. You press the right button now. No, you go to those 3 dots, ma'am, please go to those 3 dots. Ma'am, you forgot to switch on your audio. Ma'am, don't switch off your video. All this, and as well as misusing of chat box happens. In between, the parent peeps in. The parent tells you how to talk, how to teach. What are all challenges we are thrown into? And in these challenges, when we were thrown into these challenges, we all became strong enough. Innately, we learnt that how to protect ourselves, how to deliver our jobs. We can clap for ourselves. We all have done a fantastic job for past 3-4 months. We have been going on very well, very strong. What all ways, when you have a school, every child can have 1 laptop, every child who could own 1 tab, minimum an Android phone, then we switched over to these things. There are some homes, there are some children who had only 1 Android phone. Those schools switched over to WhatsApp teaching. There are some people who do not have anything at all. They switched over to more intelligent ones. They have put loudspeakers in their village so that all the children in the village will be learning and 1 person will be delivering. Yeah, necessity is the mother of invention. We invented multiple ways. We invented many ways to reach out to the children. Then we were also told that your teaching is no more chuck and talk. We left long back chuck and talk. No more we are doing chuck and talk. We are all into experiential learning. But there are few who did not know how to do experiential learning. They learned. When they learned in online how to do experiential learning, what experience will you give in a lab? What experience can you give them about a library? What experience can you give them about a carpentry? Where do you take them? Can you take them to a planetarium? Can you take them to any of these places? And suddenly the way my network is threatening, everybody's network will be threatening them, saying that your network is weak. Change to alternative or put your WhatsApp on your head and sit down. Now that is what my network is telling. No, put your Wi-Fi on your head and sit down. Now, this kind of a challenges are there, but the only way to reach out to the children is experiential learning. Then we have to break our heads. How are we going to do? Next few minutes, I'm going to tell you all in which way, how can we actually tackle this diversity, which has become a challenge today. The diversity challenge is not linguistic diversity. It is not cultural diversity. It is not any other diversity. the diversity of financial and social status. Financial status is what is challenged to us. Why do I talk about financial diversity, which is a challenge today, is you have a heterogeneous class. Every one of you have got a heterogeneous class. This heterogeneous class is not only about the child who learns slower, the child who needs a special care, the child who is a reluctant learner, the child who is a fastest learner, but it is also about a fastest learner not having any app in the house, or not having any tab in the house, not having any gadget in the house. And how are we attending to that child? You as a teacher feel for that. How am I attending to all these children, inclusive of that child who is not able to have that kind of a gadget which he can listen to me, which he can ask me? He is the fastest learner maybe. So how to attend to this diversity and how to come out of this guilt of not being able to attend to all in a one go. We are not Krishna, Lord Krishna, to be omnipresent and omnipotent. We are just teachers, all of us. We may have different abilities, but we are human beings. So at a time, we will go one slot at a time. First, we will go to this differential class teaching in the classroom, imagining everybody has a gadget in the class. That means either they have an Android phone or they have a tab, they have a laptop. Then all are before the screen. The major challenge here to you is that the way I have now, I don't have a live class before me to respond to me, to tell me how they are feeling. All the feelings I can see is only in Mr. Krish's face, nobody else's. Thank you. Please keep your video answer so that I'll know that how are the audience responding. Otherwise, absolutely. I will not be knowing.
No, I will keep it on. I am listening very carefully.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure to hear you, ma'am.
What happens is, as a teacher, we need audience. And we also need to know the pulse of the audience. We also need to know whether we are being approached, we are being able to reach out to that audience, whether they are responding to us or not. So now, first we need to do is that looking at whatever is the app we are using, how many faces can we see at a time without a PPT, we will do that. And we'll tell them switch on your videos. Okay. The second thing we tell them is, now I want all of you to get up and do a little bit of a jumping here and there. Okay. Move your limbs, move your hands, go and bring onion from kitchen, bring a glass of water from kitchen. Age appropriate. Now, since I said onion, glass of water, please use only age appropriate. Sarada ma'am said you go and bring glass of water from 12th, but 12th standard doesn't work. So it is all age appropriate, whatever you want. There are many things within the four walls which we never thought can help them. Okay, but today it will help them. So we have to become a little creative. Tell them all, tomorrow we are going to have a class about three-dimensional figures. Tomorrow you are going to keep what all things you can keep next to your gadget ready, which you feel are three-dimensional, you will keep it with you. You will be amazed tomorrow at the variety of three-dimensional things which are there. The reason is, it is not only you as a teacher here, the parent there is also equally enthusiastic. So the parent also picks up few and gives it to the child. These are all three-dimensional. Take it. Now, you ask them, show me the three-dimensional one and tell me and speak about it. You are not speaking. The child speaks. The child is experiencing and the child is speaking. You don't need to do. You are like a potter. You are touching the child in the right, which direction, so that the nice pot becomes, that the learning happens. But it is the child who is going to speak. I can see this many sides. I can see that this looks like this. Ma'am, I can put so and so inside this. Ma'am, in fact, my room also is a three-dimensional one. All those things comes from the child and you are only there to mold them. Your 40 minutes will fly away like this. Now, your role comes the moment you start the class. You will record You will record the entire teaching and send it to that child who has only one Android phone in the house and 4 people are sharing. With a mail to the child's parent or with a WhatsApp message to the child, beta, see it whenever you get your phone turned. The child has you all to himself, and be available to the child over phone to clarify the doubts. Definitely the diversity has been attended to maximum, because you cannot be physically there with the child, but you did not leave the child. You thought of the child. That matters a lot. That is what going to make you mentally touch the child. Make the child feel, my teacher thinks of me. So that is what is one of the steps we can take in this diversity. Second thing we can take in diversity is, if you are in a rural area, you are not able to reach out to the child, but you can always reach out to the local cable. Ask them for your school management should go to give a small slot for your school. So you will have your teachings happening there. Because physically you can't go there. You are not the one to create COVID. Neither I created. It has come thanks to somebody else. But we have to find most creative ways to reach out to the child. I heard from a rural school principal, it seems for the whole village, there were only handful of Android phones. So he has sent a WhatsApp to them. There are some 60 families here and 10 only Android phones. So please discuss amongst yourself on what turns, how do you take turns so that the entire 50 family children will be learning. You can discuss amongst yourself and tell me. He sent a WhatsApp message. So they made a fantastic timetable which you and me will struggle to make, and sent it back to the principal. And the principal ensured that he follows that timetable. He shared this timetable with his teachers so that every child was attended to. So the blinder is here. We will remove it. The creativity is here. We will use it. Nothing can stop us. Nothing can stop us. I made a statement. We are not Lord Krishna to be omnipresent and omnipotent, but the teacher is seen as almost the knowledge, goddess of knowledge. Okay, so someplace we are given that, no, it's somewhere. We have to work like that. We have to use our own creativity to attend to this diverse classrooms as far as financial diversity is concerned. Now, as far as learning diversity is concerned, already I told you that instead of using PPT every day, PPT is only one tool for us. I can use my own teaching recording as a tool. I'll play that and I will ask child who is very intelligent that you please listen to this video and tell me what are all the conclusions you can come to and what solutions you can give about it. For example, I am talking about SDG water conservation. I spoke a 5-minute video. The 5-minute video, I will show it in my class when I'm talking about water resources. And for my highly intelligent group, I tell them that after listening XYZ, I'm giving you time, 5-10 minutes. You have to make a conclusion. You have to make your own conclusions on this and give us solutions for these problems. And my ABC, which are, they need me. They are reluctant learners, so they want me. So I'll tell them, darlings, now we will do one thing, that if at all we have only a glass of water in the house, how are we going to use the glass of water? Whom will we give first? How will we preserve it? What are we going to do? We will discuss. In between, there are 70% of the children who are actually good, but they are not troublemakers. They are not overly intelligent. They are not reluctant learners. For them, I will tell them that let us experiment. What happens if I drink away this glass of water? Now, everybody has an experiment to do. One has a challenge, one has a task, one has a discussion. differential learning. It is only here. And then tell them whatever are your findings, can you write down and show it to me? I want to see everybody. Now in this, there are 4 people who will tell me, ma'am, suddenly their video audio stops working. Suddenly they say, ma'am, my video isn't working. Ma'am, my audio is not working. In the chat box, it comes, my audio isn't working because you asked questions. You have a tool in your hand. No, send a mail to parent. Dear parent, it looks like there is a technical issue in your house. Your audio video of this gadget isn't working. Your child isn't able to answer the question. Next day, the parent ensures not only both works, but the child is also attentive. The parent is our partner in learning. Yeah, the parent is a partner in the growth. The parent is a partner in this teaching learning process. Yeah, sometimes the partners get very upset with us that I am doing your job, what will you do? Okay, so in such times you tell him, sir, if I can be physically there, then you are not required. We are partners. So when I'm physically there, I didn't ask you. Today I'm not able to do it. So I want you to do it. Please understand that in any kind of this online teachings, any kind of this distance learning which is happening, our only partner is parent. And we have to go hand in hand with the parent. Now differential learning went on. I finished. I gave an experiment. I made the child do a project. I made the child experience it. I made the child write. Very good, fantastic. Now how do I know whether the child has learnt or not? How much has the child learnt? In a physical classroom, then definitely I will have one unit test. So immediately that is what comes to me, because I conducted a unit test and tomorrow I created one MS Forms or one Google Forms and sent it. Tomorrow I will get the result. 50 children, 50 out of 50 got 50 upon 50, 100 centum result. Everybody got full marks. And he was looking at how come they got full marks? They're writing from home. Then you become very suspicious about it. Something went wrong. What do I need to do? Then so many questions will hit us at this point. Did I not teach them as a teacher the value of being genuine? Did I not teach the child to maintain the sanctity of an assessment? Did I not teach the child this assessment is not to assess the child, it is only for the learning outcome? Lot of questions will come. Conscience will keep pricking us. So as it is, we have enough of headaches. Yeah, we have the headache of COVID. We have the headache of being locked down. We have headache of managing homes. We have headache of managing our own children, managing the remaining family, and managing the online classrooms and managing the differential classroom. Added to that, we will not take extra conscience pricking and all. So we will become super smart in conducting the assessment where we will use the technology. We have to. Can we go to anybody's house and take the assessment? We will request the parents. Parents, you are our partners. Please monitor well. 99.9% of the parents will monitor, but there is always that 0.1%. They will topple our entire result analysis. So before we go for this, I want to ask a question which you all need to think. Why the assessment? Why do we need to take assessments? Are the assessments conducted to assess how much have we succeeded as a teacher? Are the assessment being conducted? How much have the child learned to know? Are the assessment conducted whether the child has got the expected learning outcomes? First, we need to have a clarity. Today, the whole world, before the moment this now national education policy landed, and almost 6 months or 8, almost 10 months before, in the national conference, the chairperson of CBSE declared the 2023 examinations will be competency based. That means it is not just content. The shift is happening from content to competency. So when it is happening from content to competency, when we are looking at a competency-based assessment, our outlook should be how much has the child learned, whether the child's learning outcomes have been achieved or not. Then we have to go back. We should go to our lesson plan. In the lesson plan, did we write what are the expected learning outcomes? In the expected learning outcomes, did we mention what are all the competency building happens in this? And how are we building it? If we mentioned those two, then our assessment is to assess whether those competencies are built. If they have been built, very well and good. If they are not built, in which area I need to redo? So it is more for us. If it is more for us, then there are multiple ways of doing things. Many a time, each and every educationist, each and every academician, each and every teacher, each and every parent feels only if a child writes 4 pages answer with a pen and paper, then the child is intelligent. The child could do it. Otherwise, can't do, doesn't know. Actually, this is a wrong one. What is that we are assessing now? We are assessing the expected learning outcomes. So it is not whether the child has been able to write a theory. It is about whether the child has achieved the competencies and learning outcomes. So I can have an MCQ. And MCQs are very difficult to do it. And then if I am from a school where I have a tech savvy backup, my whole school is enabled with MS, my whole school is enabled with Google, my whole school is enabled with WebEx, my whole school is enabled with Google, whatever it is, then I can use multiple online modes. I can use Kahoot, I can use Padlet, I can use just Google Forms, I can use MS Forms, I can use Quizlets, and I can also use Mentimeters. I can just use one poll. Many things are there which I can use. Within no time, 20 minutes, I came to know how many children got the learning outcomes, how many did not come. But if my question paper is attaining to that particular objective, that means what should be there in my question paper? My question paper should be very objective oriented, that I taught this in the class with this target. Okay. So whether this target received or not, I should put questions to know with multiple choice. So I cannot say what is your name. I should ask very, very specific questions and which are very closely related answers so that the child thinks. And in answering these questions, the child's attitude and skill will come out. Normally, when you are all going for teacher trainings, they are told that the whole learning should be cognitive, assertive, and psychomotor. Am I right? The whole learning is about cognitive, assertive, psychomotor, head, heart, and hand. That is knowledge, attitude, skill. Okay, so our assessment should also be for knowledge, attitude, and skill. We cannot leave any area. So we can make it 10 questions of MCQ, asking all the 3. You can use any of these forms. Within 20 minutes, your answer is ready. Your entire data is ready. Now, ma'am, I'm coming from a rural area. The children do not have any kind of an app. I'm using WhatsApp. You can always shoot one question in a WhatsApp MCQ. You will get the answer. And I tell you, children are super smart. They're very fast. You send them one word format, they will answer it and send it back to you in word format. You give them 10 minutes time, they are back with the answer. No, ma'am, I don't even have the children with this kind of a WhatsApp this thing. I'm living in a village. I will ask questions through loudspeaker. I'll tell them you find the answer. and you refer the answer whether it is right or not. We have to make the child, whether the child is having all the apps or no, all the gadgets and no gadgets, as a self-learner. The child should be a responsible learner. The child should be made get into the self-assessment mode, because we are not there with the child. We should trust the child. So before trusting the child, we should, before making him into self-assessment, we have to strengthen the child for self-assessment. Then again, I will go back to my lesson plan. In my lesson plan, one of the objectives and learning outcome is to make the child learn the self-assessment schemes, how to assess his or her learning outcomes. Once I do this, then I'll be able to do that. Means when I'm teaching itself, I am making a child understand how to self-assess. If at all this is not a live session, and if it is some session where I am there with you, that I mean, it is in a, not in a webinar mode, and if it is in a classroom mode, I would have taken a small activity with all of you to know that how you can self-assess. Whether we are able to self-assess. If we ask a question, how do you feel now? We all think. We wait for someone else to answer. If they say good, then we will also put good, 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 good. If someone says bad, then we will think and we'll say, okay. Why? We ourselves are not able to assess our own moods, our own feelings. So first we should do self-assessment as a teacher. Then we will tell them these are all the areas that you need to assess, because I learned what is self-assessment. Now I'm teaching you all how is self-assessment. A teacher's role is this. Then make the child self-assess. Tomorrow come back and tell him that when he comes back and he says, ma'am, out of your 10 questions you gave, I could answer only 5. Clap for him. Love him. Tell him that, wow, I love you better. For what? First thing is the genuinity, the sanctity, and the purity, and the child has learned to self-assess. We need to do this now. This is the right time, darlings. The time has come for, I am in favor of COVID for many things. COVID made us sharp. COVID made us learn new techniques. COVID made us get connected to each other through technology. COVID made us understand how we can make experiential learning through online mode. COVID made us understand how we can assess. COVID made us make the child a very, very responsible learner. So did not the COVID do a lot of good things to us, our community? Look at the positive side of it. Today, you and me are able to talk to each other through technology, which I never believed in March. But today I'm saying that, yeah, I can do it. Yeah, you give me Kahoot. Oh, Mentimeter, I know it very well. And COVID also changed the mindset of millions of people who thought that 50 above or old, they will not change. All 50, 60 changed so much now. They are the ones who are talking about all this. 40 plus are thinking. 50 plus is plunged into it. I know of my guru, Mrs. Vasanti Tyagarajan, 65. She does so much of online things and she speaks to so much of technology. I'm in awe. Wow. Amazing. So who told that age doesn't allow us to change? Age is here. We are young at heart to change. So you are youngest at heart to change. You are the babies. So you need to just plunge into Google. You will get 2,000 answers for your problem. Otherwise, 2 million answers for generic problems. So you decide which problem is yours. And you already have an answer for it. Amazing tools are there. And wherever there are no such gadgets, you are there. You can use one mic in your own village, in your own home. Put 2 loudspeakers. Your school will do that. Tell the children, I'm asking this question in your own homes, write the answer, self-assess yourself. They are darlings. They listen to you. So, online assessments or diversity is not a challenge. The challenge here is our own mindset. The challenge here is the blinders we put for ourselves over 30, 40, 50 years. This is the only way we can do. And suddenly our branch has been cut. Now we have to fly and keep flying. And when we are flying, we are enjoying this freedom. We are enjoying this breeze. We are enjoying this winds. We are learning to survive, not only survive, but we are also learning to become the winners in the survival. We are writing the history. 100 years down the lane, you and me will be spoken in the history books. How the teachers have transformed the whole learning happens. Yeah. How we are learning about history now, we will be the history. We are writing that history. Only thing is we will remove the blinders. Diversity is never a challenge if we have a creative mind. Diversity is never a challenge if we are ready to change. Diversity is never a challenge if we are open to learning. Diversity is never a challenge for anything because we are open. We are ready to learn. Learning is one thing which will be there with us, and it is one property. We are going to take it and we will share it. And when till we go, we will be sharing it and be ready for change. The change is the one which made the butterflies happen. And we should be butterflies forever. Thank you for listening. And thank you for coping up with not having PPTs, but still patiently listening. Thank you all, darlings.
It's again, technology sometimes teaches us to run the show even without the PPTs. I think congratulations to you, because it isn't easy to talk for almost 40, 45 minutes without the PPT, and PPT did not cooperate with you, right?
Yeah.
I don't know the reason for that. Anyway, it's awesome talk, ma'am. It's an eye opener for all of us to sit and listen to you. This will be recorded and would be uploaded into our YouTube channel of Amrita Vishwavidyapeetham, and those of you who want to re-listen to what's ma'am's advice on the new technologies that have popped up recently, I think your knowledge is far beyond anybody's expectations so far. I think, as you rightly said, it's thanks to COVID. I think, but for him or her, our knowledge would not have been popped to this extent. Whatever I heard from you, and it is indeed learning for me to listen to such a wonderful and useful, and which can be applied in future for our teachers. Apply this in the classrooms. I'm sure. Classroom in the sense, of course, I'm talking about the stream classes, which will be of immense help for our students, parents, and the teachers also. Thank you once again from Amrita Vishwavidyapeetham for your accelerating and sort of exemplary talk what you had just delivered now, ma'am. I mean, kudos to you for your lovely, sort of, it's a vibrant, nobody can go off. I'm sure Swamiji is listening to you. He may not be on screen, but certainly is listening to you. And may I request Swamiji to come back onto the screen, please? May I have Swamiji onto the screen, please? Swamiji, can I have you on the screen? Yeah, before that, yeah, he's there. I told you he's always listening to you, and he's there. Ma'am, I think actually what happens is we request Swamiji to take the lead to talks, but you had in fact taken the lead to talk, and now I request Swamiji to have a couple of questions being maybe fired. Fired would not have been the right word. I don't like somebody asking you questions, but certainly I would like Swamiji to clarify a few of his doubts which would have come up during this wonderful deliberations of yours. So over to you, Swamiji, for your first million question to ma'am. Over to you, Swamiji, and welcome.
Ma'am, I was just listening. See, you started the whole conversation with a kind of divine touch. So my question to you is, I hope I'm audible.
Yes, sir. Only thing is slightly low, but okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So you started the whole conversation with a divine touch, telling the story of Lord Shiva and Parvati and the whole family.
Yeah.
So my question to you is, see, we have quite a lot of technologies currently.
Yeah.
And I have, in fact, we both had observed the session which you had conducted at Mysuru. And the way in which you conducted the whole session was totally lively. It was not just a kind of giving instruction, rather it was a kind of lively session.
Swami, I got a gift also from ma'am. I got a gift also. You remember? One chocolate or something I got from her.
Yeah, you got a chocolate from me.
Yeah. Very, very sorry I can't take it from you, but certainly your wishes would take me towards that chocolate. Thank you so much. Applaud.
And you were explaining the diversity of this whole country and the place. So what is it that is required for the teachers to embrace this whole change? How do you accept the change?
Sir, actually, first thing is that the teachers have to open up, be ready to change, be ready to accept. And my golden words to everyone is, failing is only to learn. Falling is to getting up. So when we are doing anything new, we are not such a super smart, that immediately it happens. Definitely, as I said, that technology fails many places, that we will, at that moment, we will become absolutely blank, and suddenly one child asks a question and we will go blank. In such things, there is nothing wrong. We are human beings. Only thing is that we will not leave it at that point. We will pick it up from there, and next time we won't get into that situation. We will empower ourselves. Number one is that be or do not take anything as a drawback. Nothing happens. We will come back, we'll bounce back, and we will not repeat it. That is one. Third thing is that what took me there will not take me here. That's the mantra. I had done a fantastic job in a physical classroom, so I will be able to go through very well in the virtual classroom. No, virtual classroom needs a smart teacher. I'll give you one example here. One question, I'll talk volumes. That's a problem with me. I'm very worse. There's one particular school. It happened really just a few months ago. And the one particular class, all the parents are very, very upset with one particular teacher in the physical classroom. They waited for her to come for the virtual classroom. All the parents sat next to their children that now we will catch her. Okay, and she came. The moment she came, she told, there are 30 children in the class, told each child that you will read one paragraph of this particular chapter and answer this particular question. Okay, not loud reading. Each one of you are given this. Okay, I'm giving you 10 minutes time or 5 minutes time. Each one of them were given the task. So all 30 of them were given different paragraph, different work, different questions. Then she told, okay, roll number 1, now you start speaking. That's all. By the time all the 30 were over, her 40 minutes are over, learning was also over. There is nothing that the parents could do because she was so smart. The learning went on. She came with a specific learning outcome which was achieved. She could not be caught by anybody because she didn't speak at all. It is the children who spoke. Parents were very happy because their own children spoke. This is what I called smartness. See, what is that you are there for? To achieve learning outcome. Ensure that learning outcome comes through different modes. It need not have to be that you should speak constantly. You can use multiple devices. That's what I'm saying, that if I am a science teacher, you go to Google for this particular topic, I have 2 lakh answers there. Take one particular website, show it to them, tell them work on this and come back with answers. Smartness works. So online versions are looking for smart teachers who can use the gadgets, who can be tech savvy. They cannot say that, no, I'm scared of technology. Technology will not eat us. We invented technology, so we are the masters of it. The day the teacher thinks like that, she is a smart.
Swamiji.
Yeah, ma'am, one more question. It's not one, two. There are 2 questions for. See, what should be the attitude of a teacher, and how is it possible that you think that? How is it possible for them to manage the timing? Because when it was a conventional style of teaching, they had enough time to learn at school. But now at the same time, they have to manage their the work at home. There is work at home. If there are kids, it is very difficult. They will find it very difficult. And as you rightly said at the beginning, now it is a time where if the parents are working, if the teacher and husband or wife, they both are working, the level of internet usage goes beyond the limits, and they will have to find the internet for kids also if they are also school goers. So what is it that you think is feasible, practical solution for the teachers to manage their time? How do they manage the time?
Sir, again, I'm coming back to the answer saying that a creative approach is the most convenient, best approach at this point of time, because, for example, the teacher who has been teaching science or teacher who has been teaching mathematics, she knows what are all the topics there. She also knows that she has to do this work, and experiential learning gives the flexibility. For example, if at all the teacher is teaching science, she can tell that she need not have to think much. Tomorrow I'm going to talk about germination, or I'm talking about leaf, or I'm talking about a skeletal system. I tell this to my teachers, they do this. I told them that bring a leaf. Tell the children tomorrow they sit with a leaf. Okay. There is nothing much of a big practice or learning is required for this. The teacher has to be slightly creative. Bring a leaf. Tell the children to carefully remove that green part or whatever, leaving the entire those veins and everything. And tell them to feel and to talk about it. Today's whole session, 25 children will be talking about this is small, this is big, this makes it. Each will speak only 2 sentences. Then the teacher says, what would have happened to this leaf without these veins or this structure? The way that would not have come. Fantastic. So like that, within our body, we have a skeletal system. Okay. Now all of you feel. Where all you are feeling. Okay. It is only a creative one. If I'm talking about geometry and I'm talking about angles to a 2nd standard child or 3rd standard child, I will tell the child that go around the house, measure everybody's nose. Is it straight? It is an angle. Which angle it would have been? What should be the angle of the chin? What is the angle of this chair leg? What I'm saying is that they need not have to go beyond to think. They have to think, use creativity to use the available resources, number 1. Sir, only solution for this problem where the teachers are multitasking, apart from their own homes taking the classes, is going for a project-based learning or experiential learning. That means 2 to 3 concepts together, if we merge together, every day is a continuation of that project which is happening. So once the teacher makes her lesson plan for 15 days, she will be depending on this lesson plan for the next 15 days, and day wise she is using it. So remaining 14 days is a very good cakewalk to her. So once in 15 days, she has to spend a few hours in making the project and the lesson plan for it. For all these things, sir, creativity is number 1. Number 2 is that thinking beyond is required. Number 3 is that if I'm not creative, doesn't matter, I can become creative. All I need to do is to Google down. We will have millions of ideas falling. Then collaboration. I do not have time. I have one teacher talking to me that I have in-laws who are seniors, very seniors, and I live with in-laws and my husband and 2 children and no maid. I'm going mad. So I told that if she is one among 10 teachers teaching the same subject, remaining 9 can support this lady. If you have 9 chapters, each chapter can be taken by one teacher and shared. It all is a collaborative learning mode, sir. So it is, I'll tell you for one story here. I'm dying to tell you stories. I don't know why. It seems there was a huge snowstorm and all animals were dying. So the porcupines came rolling, they hugged each other. And when they hugged each other, what happened? They started pricking each other. Okay, when they prick each other, they fallen apart. When they fall apart, they were dying of cold. If they are hugging each other, they were pricking each other. but the warmth was there. Then they understood if they have to live, then they have to live with the pain. If they fall apart, they will die. That is the story, sir. Today, teachers, you, me, the whole world should bear each other's pain. There is no other go. We have to survive. So take the pain, survive. It is this point, once we accept that there is a pain. Sir, I don't need to tell you, you are a Swamiji, that the pain is something which is always there. It's here. So I have to live with the pain, but the pain is what going to make me fly high. So I have to fly high. Porcupine story. That is it, sir.
Wonderful.
I have a couple more things, Krish.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. It's your day, Swamiji.
Yesterday, in fact, we had a ma'am from Madurai, and we started off well. Immediately after the first question, the entire connectivity was lost, and we both had to manage it. Myself and Krish had to manage it. Today, if we see, we are not able to move the PowerPoint slide. But what happened? You presented, you just delivered the whole talk just like that. So when you say that we have to take pain and we have to learn from things, how is it possible for a common teacher to come up like this? Because see, for example, when I used to teach, I never used to take books to class. I just used to teach for 1 hour, 2 hours without any materials, because that is how I started learning. And it was a real struggle for me to learn, especially switching from commerce to mathematics or computer science. Now you just delivered it just like that. I didn't see any kind of flip-flop in between the talk. And how is it possible for a teacher, or what is the learning process you would recommend for a teacher, and how long will it take for a teacher to be like this?
Swamiji, madam, Swamiji, let me answer one question. Swamiji, did you not hear ma'am saying that she started this noble profession of teaching at the age of sweet 16? You know, sweet 16, she started the career, and that's the secret for her success so far. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Actually, sir, I tell you something. Yesterday, I was telling there was a project-based learning presentation by my 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th. They had the same problem. Their PPT didn't work and the children became baffled. So I told all the teachers and children, this is a classic thing you have to remember, that when you are going ahead with any kind of a presentation, either you know what you have prepared in your presentation the way I knew. So I don't need to worry. I know what after what came, and since I prepared it, number one. And maybe because of the age and experience and being a theater person and dancer and all that I'm able to do, so I don't take myself as an example. But the advice I give to people is that technology is a technology. It can let you down. But whatever you want to speak, write it on a piece of paper and keep next to you. So you can keep referring. If the technology goes, still you have a paper. That is what makes you go strong, because even for the classes, if the teacher doesn't have what she wants to speak in her hand, children will be asking, so 9th and 10th will be dull. 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, they will give you a blank look. Whereas, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, my God, ma'am, this goes on. See, for a teacher to manage this ma'am from 30, 40 children and keeping them to that, you mute, I will call you, don't worry. In between, parents getting worried that my child is not being given chance. So, best thing is, in this mayhem, you have to keep your cool in mind. So write down and keep what do you want to say, keeping the mayhem in mind. See, I did not become this in over one day. I am fortunate that my father was not only a very big person, he also was from stage, and he has seen to that I am on stage from my childhood. So somehow I learned all those theatrics, and I'm also a dancer and a performer. So all this came like a package, and my husband supported in all those things. So maybe born to talk. God has sent me with a loud mouth. That's a different man. So non-stop talking happens from me. I'm like a radio jockey. But this is a different skill. When I was 10, if I look at myself 15 years ago, I always had a small piece of paper in my palm when I was addressing people for a referral point. So I tell the teachers, write down on a piece of paper. Now, even today in the world of technology and robotics and coding and AI, pen and paper will help you. Write down and keep. That's what will help you. This is my golden words to everybody. Please keep that, because when the technology doesn't give you, the paper will give you the support.
Yeah, Swami, I think today we couldn't talk at all, right, Swami?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, wonderful, wonderful. We are in fact enjoying. We are quite enjoying about whatever you are saying. Swamiji, I know you have one trillion or billion dollar question to ma'am. I'm sure it's the trillion dollar question has not yet come. So let's have Swamiji asking that billion dollar question to ma'am. Yeah. Over
So,
to
ma'am,
Swamiji.
okay, again, ma'am. You are the academic coordinator, and you have been handling this, I think, maybe for so many years. And what is your, or what will be your step to bring up the education up to your expected standards if you are given a chance to manage the entire schools in Karnataka?
Sir, why do you want to push me into trouble? I'm a very happy lady otherwise. I have no intentions of getting into politics or anything.
No, I'll add one more thing to it. You are a performer, dance performer. So how will you bring that component also in your planning?
I'll answer this very well, because I tell you, I have created the teaching learning processes using dance as one of the tool for teaching. I tell you that I created that Pythagoras theorem through Odissi dance is the easiest way to learn. Okay. And a lot of theatrics can be used. The easiest one, there is nothing for a theater, but normally for third standard, I keep telling, when we are talking about plateaus and mountains, they will not know the difference between high flat lands and sharp peaked mountains. So I tell them that sharp peaked mountains and high flat lands. Okay, so the forehead is always a high flat land and a nose is always a mountain, and these are valleys and these are plains. So they will never forget that what is the difference between a plain and a plateau and a sharp peaked mountains and valleys. Okay, so this is experiential learning. Sir, actually, if not only Karnataka, across the country, there are two things I want. First thing to do is that we cannot stop a running heart. But today, teacher empowerment is coming through national education policy, which we need to take it very seriously. Teacher education, teacher empowerment, capacity building is not a joke, because we are creating the future generations. A doctor and a teacher cannot make mistakes. Lives are at stake. Second thing I want to see is that the stakeholder empowerment. Now, I'll give you a classic example. What I think as a parent in a city is far different from a parent from a village or a parent from a tier 2, tier 3 cities, because long back I tried to help somebody to start up a school in Rajahmundry, in international school, and when we did a market study, we understood that every parent wants their child to go to America, do engineering and go to America. I'm talking about with Andhra, because that is the dream they have. Now, today we should tell them that America is not the target. So how do we change that mindset? So first we have to change the mindset of thinking, change the mindset of thinking of parents, change the mindset of thinking of all the stakeholders, and give that openness to the children. Allow the child to study what the child wants to study. When will this happen? If we create dignity of labor. If we respect the plumber as much as we respect a doctor, if we respect the electrician as much as we respect one IT professional, if we respect the teacher as much as we respect the Prime Minister of this country, that dignity of labor, when we bring in here, then the change normally comes. Ultimately, a child is sent to school to learn, to go to job, to earn money. The earning money comes with a package. That package, if that is taken care, today a man here is a generic word I am using, man, woman, anybody. The person who earns a lot of money is respected. Whether I accept it, you accept it, it's a different thing. Society wants to do that. If a man comes in a BMW, in a Benz car, wow, that comes. And if we go in a small nano car, okay, nano car. So first we need to change this attitude in people that it is the learning, the job, the respect to humanity. If we give, then only the whole education system can change. And when all the stakeholders change their attitude, all the stakeholders are ready for the change. Today, everybody's house has got national education policy. How many of them are able to read? How many of them are able to decipher? How many of them are able to understand that tomorrow my child can take physics with music? And will they accept it? If that comes, done, sir. Not, they don't need me. They don't, anybody and everybody will be able to receive that. And I don't know when it happens. I have only 2 more years, sir. After that, I will retire very respectfully.
Madam, you can retire from the position, but then you can't retire from what you have been doing for the last 40 years. You'll continue to be teaching, continue to be sharing your knowledge, across the globe. So, Swamiji, the million is gone, billion is gone. Do you have any trillion now?
No, I just wanted to add a few things. See, ma'am, it was really nice to listen to you. Basically, when you said that you are a performer also in dance, in fact, I had practiced dance maybe 20 years back, and what the key component in that is that you are controlling the entire body. You have a control over the body, and mentally you are able to watch it when you dance, and it is a kind of awareness you have, and I strongly believe that that is the kind of confidence you gain. It is enormous you gain. For example, a similar example I should tell about Krish also. When he started dieting a couple of months back, and he was able to bring down almost like 15 kg. 15 kilos he was able to bring down. And now he feels so energetic. And just because of the factor that he is confident. Earlier he was using that something to control his breath, but now he is no more using it.
So inhaler, Astalin inhaler.
Yeah, something like that. I believe it is very much required for our teachers. We recently started something like virtual musical evening for the teachers to participate in musical evenings and come out of with their talent. So in fact, bringing all this together alone will be some kind of education, where we have heard a lot of talks. People throw knowledge, but you have delivered wisdom today, because the kind of thought process you had to elevate the community in education sector, it is highly appreciated, ma'am. Thanks a lot for sharing.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, one thing I want, Swamiji, I never knew that you practiced dancing a couple of 20 years back. This is something new for me, and people who are listening to me now. I also have done my Arangetram when I was in 4th standard. So wow. all 3 of us are good dancers. But then after the marriage, now I only dance to the tune of my wife. So otherwise I stopped dancing at the moment. But then I can't allow man to leave without mentioning about a unique thing that she has been doing in her school. I don't know whether she knows what I'm trying to bring it out. About a year back when I met her in her school, she mentioned about football matches being played by kuttis. My name is Krishnan Kuti. So the kuttis means it's not like my age of kuttis, but I think, what is the age, ma'am?
4.5 to 5.5.
4.5 to 5.5 years. I think there is a gala tournament of football match taking place. And how many schools do take part in that, ma'am?
At any given tournament, this is the year we are missing it. Otherwise, every year we will have 20 to 25 schools coming and participating across Bengaluru.
My
And
God.
we are the that is our flagship program. We are the ones who started. It is called Vivacious football tournament for
What is that? What is that?
toddlers. Vivacious football tournament.
Vivacious football.
Vivacious.
Can you just brief, because these are things which, which I don't think the teachers who are now listening to you would have ever, heard or even dreamt about it. I would like you to just mention about these matches. And this is something unique, unbelievable, having a team from 25 schools with just about 4.5 years to 5.5 children who can't even sometimes, they're not able to walk properly, but you make them play football is something.
Yes,
Fantastic. Go ahead,
actually,
ma'am. Let's hear from you. Let's hear from you.
yeah, actually, why I started also, I tell you that
Please.
when the World Cup was happening, okay, this we started in 2011. When World Cup was happening before that, all the time people were actually supporting Brazil team, Italy team, and all. I always felt that if it is a cricket match, we will support India. But when it comes to football, we are nowhere. So I asked my son, I said that how come that we are nowhere? Then he told me that where in India we are promoting football. He said that he was more into watching the World Cup match. This gave birth to this idea in 2008. But 2011 only I could do that. I studied that what happens in Brazil, what happens in Italy and all. They always start from 4 years to make them play the football. That's how you have all those famous players coming out. So then I thought, why don't we do that? Then when I started in our school, first we went and spoke to Karnataka State Football Association. They were very happy. They said they will give this a status of state football. Then we took the international tournament rules and we brought it down to that KG class, that is 4.5-year-old children. Then we give 2 months notice to all the participant schools. When I started this, everybody heckled at me. There were quite a lot of them. They laughed. The coaches told that, have you gone mad? We never did. Then I said, okay, those who do not believe, don't believe. I will teach how to do it. Then my PT sir had no choice. He took it up. Then we got into Limca book for this. And then, of course, the sports secretary ma'am also came and saw. She said it is one of the most amazing things to happen because this is like a mini FIFA happening. People, the way the whole thing happens is in June, we will send the notice or notification to school in August and September, first week it happens. And we have the lots taken, we will give the uniform codes and we will also have the Karnataka State Football Association referees coming for refereeing that. And we have more than 4 to 5 referees coming, 2 courts made specially for the children. Their sized football goalposts are made, and children play like Messi and Madonna. And we have girls football also now, and girls, and then we made it like IPL. We added a lot of glamour to it. So we also have girls and boys having a cheerleading groups dancing for that. And the schools coming, competition happening, of course parents fighting with us if their team doesn't get it all, but it is one of the most amazing things to happen.
Wonderful.
And we have been doing it from 2011. This is the 9th year and I'm slightly upset this year we could not do, but this is very close to our heart.
Wonderful, ma'am. Next year when things get normal and when you conduct such football matches for those cuties, 4.5 years to 5.5 years, we certainly would like to take part in that from Amrita Vishwavidyapeetham. So keep us in mind.
Definitely.
Keep us in mind. We would certainly love to support you in making these events much larger than just about 25 schools in the future. So I think we have taken enough time of yours. We were supposed to have closed at 5 p.m., but now the clock is 5:21. I think the time has just gone because of the ma'am who has been talking to us with so much of knowledge, so much of enthusiasm, so much of aggression in your talk, and this has really helped all of us. And the last thing which you hit the nail was about Kutis football matches. I think this is unbelievable. I've just never thought that you're also, such a person who wants to give something back to our country, and that's why you want India to represent and be on the top of the list as far as the FIFA is concerned. I'm sure your prayers and your initiatives and action that you have taken will bring our country, India, to much higher heights in football matches in the future. Well done, ma'am. Keep going. So this
Thank
is
you so
Medul
much.
Krish. This is Medul Krish thanking ma'am, especially from Amrita Vishwavidyapitham. Not from HMD. Today it is from my residence. Until we meet again. Thank you so much. Good day to all. Stay safe, stay secure. Jai Hind!
Jai Hind.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.